Beep, beep.
Well, hello there and welcome back to Toots on Tuesday. This is Toots 8.
It is.
And we are doing preparing for applique.
Yay, it's getting exciting, isn't it, Joey?
It is. You know, I've never done applique before. So
Wow.
What do we use to do applique?
Well, we're going to use the blocks that you've beautifully quilted. Mm-hmm. How did you enjoy that quilting?
That was really fun, actually. It's kind of like driving around on a racetrack.
So you got faster each time.
Exactly.
And as you do it, it's like anything. When you're new at it, it's always difficult to learn. But I think you and everybody else that's following us along will realise that it's a confidence building thing, isn't it?
Exactly. It really, really is. What tools will we be using today?
Well, what we're going to be doing, just to explain a little bit here, it's really nice that you've quilted this, but I think once we put it with our blocks, it's looking a little bit plain.
It is.
So I'm going to suggest to you that we might applique over these little petals.
So we'll be using the templates again.
We will be using the templates.
The templates which are available on our website.
They are.
All the W's.
Yes.
pqw.com.au.
And all the tools that we use in our lessons are all available, and they're available to anybody in the world. It doesn't matter where you live. Now that the world's opening up again, we ship anywhere in the world. So,
exactly.
And it's wonderful because we get, even people watching us at Toots on Tuesday, we get people from Sweden and Switzerland and...
The UK?
Exactly.
Canada?
South Africa, Zimbabwe. We get them from everywhere. So you can order from us anywhere in the world, and we'd love to put a package together for our viewers out there, because I know you're collecting a lot of tools.
I am.
So today we're going to use the 3-in-1 workboard. Now, if we open it up, we're going to use the sandpaper part of the board, because we're going to use... You can select the fabrics, and I see you've already done a little bit of that there.
I do. Well, I'm using some of the scraps left over from what we've already done. So I'm going to use some of those.
Which is wonderful. So what we're going to do is place, you've done that right, you've placed the fabric face down onto the sandpaper. Now we're using the sandpaper because when you put the template on top of there, we don't want the fabric to stretch when we trace the design. So now, because we're using this elongated shape here for our little bit of applique, you can choose section of the fabrics that you want to use. So we've got 8 petals in total to trace out. So you might like to do one that's got a little bit of the feature colour, and then the second one you might like to take from this section here that's got less colour in it.
Just to give it that bit more interest.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. And it really, with applique, it doesn't matter about the grain line. You know how we talked about the grain line when we were cutting out our triangles and squares and that? When we applique, you might place this one here and trace that, and then you might fit this one in on an angle. That doesn't matter.
So we don't have to be picky about making sure we've got it on a proper line or...
Exactly right. So what I'm going to get you to do is trace out one petal, and then we're going to talk about doing a circle, because we might put some circles in on this also.
I kind of like that petal to be like that.
Okay, that's great.
So it's got that going right up the centre of that.
So you're going to use your bohin fabric marking pencil.
Fabric marking pencil.
And the dark lead will work best on this colour fabric.
Okay.
So you just have the lead out. Remember, when you use the templates, you need to hold the pencil upright.
And the lead needs to be out a good
distance so that it goes through that hole in the template. And you can see that the fabric's not stretching.
That sandpaper is really good for that. And I noticed we didn't have to use the sandpaper when we were using the templates on the actual block. Why is that different?
Well, we didn't, because we already had the wadding and the backing ironed, because we used the Hobbs fusible wadding, remember? And we had that ironed, so having it ironed onto the fusible, the top fabric onto the fusible batting, that eliminated the stretching. So that was easy.
Because this is a single piece of fabric, and look at that, that really does stay on there very well.
It sticks, it's beautiful, it just doesn't move, so I use that all the time. So well done.
So I might do another one now.
Okay.
And I think... Will it fit there? No, I think I might go this way.
Well, what about if you put it more on an angle this way? that you get that.
Oh, that's
because then
nice.
you might get another one up here. But so I'd move it down a little bit further. So you've got this area up here to get another one out of. And it's appliquing like this, it's a great way of using up all the bits that you've got left over from your piece blocks. You know, we've got to use up all those scraps.
Waste not, want not.
Exactly.
Okay, so I've drawn those two onto there using the template.
Fantastic.
Now I'm just going to cut those out.
Yep, and I've given you the wonderful scissors that I love to use. You know, forget about where I've put them close to the iron. But I love these because they've got the really big opening in them for my wobbly fingers.
So these are the jack scissors?
They are the jack scissors. They're the ones that we sell on our website. They're my chosen favourite scissors to use. I love the sharp point. It's sharp right to the point. I love that it's not too long a blade, and I love this space here. So now, just a little hint here, Joey. Let me pick this up. You've drawn across here, which is the bottom of the template. But I want you to cut this little bit here down a little bit longer by about 1/8 of an inch.
I think I might just draw that in so I
Okay.
don't forget to do it.
All right.
Is that sufficient there?
Yep, that's
and
perfect.
the same for this one.
Yes. Now, the reason we're doing that is when we lay these applique petals down, they're going to go down into the circle, and then we're going to put a circle over the top. So we want that little bit of extension. So now when you cut out the shape, I want you to cut right on the pencil line.
Right on the pencil line.
Yep. Because if you cut inside the pencil line, the shape will be too small.
And what about if I cut outside? Will it be too large?
It'll be too large. So there's your challenge. Be accurate. You know, we were accurate with our piecing, now we're accurate with our cutting. And you're finding those scissors nice?
They're lovely scissors.
Yeah,
They're
they are
very sharp.
really, really nice. And they don't leave that frayed, jagged edge that can happen with some of our scissors. Good girl. So that's, you know, exactly how I would cut out the 8 different petals that you need for this design.
Lovely.
So, you know, this is where you trace them all on, you sit down in the easy chair and cut these out. And this is good having the workboard because you can go into your lounge chair now and you could sit down
and just
yeah,
cut them
yeah.
out.
So let's draw a circle.
Do you want me to cut that one out first?
Well, let's do a circle. I can cut that out while you draw the circle.
That's a great
How about
idea.
that? I'll do some work for you.
So what colour will I do the circle?
I would think, because we're possibly going to do 2 circles, I would possibly, and look at the balance of your colours here. Mm-hmm. I would personally put the green as the large circle and the purple as the small circle. Okay? So let's do the green.
The green one?
Yep.
The large circle.
So it's best if you put that upside down onto the board.
Yes, it is. I actually knew that the first time.
I'll shift this one out of the road. Now, let me explain this. We've got this quarter of the circle here. So if you put this down and if you make sure that you're in a little bit from the edge, mark the centre dot that's in that template. Then draw this section here. Okay, just like we did when we marked the quilting line, rotate it around and keep rotating that around till you draw the full circle. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'll do homework for you.
Oh, Pauline.
Oh, aren't you lucky?
Best
I
tutor
should
ever.
earn a gold star today.
I haven't asked for any gold stars
No,
yet
you're
today.
not getting any today.
Why not?
I'm over the gold stars.
Oh, serious?
Yep. I think you're on your road now. I don't know that you should earn any more gold stars.
I don't know what everybody else thinks about that.
Well, I think they'll agree with me.
Do you?
Yeah, I think they'll agree that you're doing quite a nice job and that
And
you're on your
that I
road.
don't deserve gold stars. I thought, do a good job, get the gold stars.
Well, so you're gaining confidence. You don't need it.
I'm just getting too many and you're jealous. There we go, I've got a circle.
Okay, so now we're going to cut that out. I'm a bit slow here because I usually cut out with a little mini cutter.
That's a bit.
But that's
those
another
corners,
lesson.
Yeah, those corners are probably a bit tight for me at this stage for the mini cutter.
I would say so.
So we're just going to cut the circle now.
Yes. So you would do the same with the small circle. That's how you would cut
And
the
just
small
using
circle.
that smaller,
Yes,
the inner circle there.
the inner part. That's exactly right. So once we get that done, then and we get all the pieces cut out, we're going to use the Roxanne glue basted applique, and we're going to glue all of these petals in place. And then once we get them glued on, in the next lesson in Toots on Tuesday number 9, we're going to go to the machine and you're going to learn how to do blanket stitch on the machine to applique this down beautifully.
So I have on occasion played around with blanket stitch, but I never fully understood what I would ever use it for.
Well, in quilting we use blanket stitch applique a lot, and a lot of people do love to do hand blanket stitch. I used to love hand stitching, but I think time has taken me away from that because I'm always so busy making lots of quilts and different things that I choose to do it on my machine. And I love the blanket stitch that my new Benina does. I just love it. So we're going to talk more about that when we get to the machine. But for now, we'll just continue cutting out our pieces and then we're going to show you how to glue all of this into place.
And lay them out, I guess, is going to be part of the...
Yes, and lay them out and get them on there accurately. And then we'll have the next lesson coming up real soon. Well, that looks pretty good.
Don't they look lovely?
They do. And
Look at those.
they're really sweet, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah. What happened here? So see how that's so... You're not right to the line.
I think I might have cut inside the line instead of on the line. But you know, you could actually cut them all that way and still be able to see your quilting.
Well, yeah, of course you can. But I don't know that would look as good once we do the blanket stitch.
Of course, because it's going to go over the quilting. So we'll change it for another one.
Well, I see you've got a few spare ones there. So which one? Let's replace that.
Well, I think I'm going to put this one here because that is balancing that colour there.
Yeah, and that's balancing that. And sometimes when you lay out something like this, it's time to walk away from it.
Oh, right, okay.
Come back here. I didn't mean for you to walk away. But
you know, I was going home early.
But sometimes it's good to walk away and come back, 10 minutes later and have a look and see that you're happy with it before we take the next step.
See if everything's still balanced.
Yeah,
nice.
and you've got your gorgeous circles cut out. It really looks lovely. I really love your combination there. And see how that's changed that whole design? Like you could cut these out and use them as applique too.
A background behind this.
That's right, and they would shine through as coming through the petals. So, you can do all sorts of things. Don't just think these templates are used for quilting. They are fabulous for doing applique designs too. So all different sorts of aspects you can use them for. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to use the Roxanne glue basted.
The Roxanne glue basted, available on our website.
Absolutely. And a lot of people are probably wondering why we're not using the double-sided fusible webbing underneath here, which most people use for applique. You know about it?
No.
And well, there's a lot of different brands out there, and I use it, but I prefer to use the glue because the double-sided fusible web is you would trace your shape onto the paper side of the fusible web. You would trace your design out and then cut it out. And then you would peel the paper off and you would iron it.
Oh, okay.
But if you get it in the wrong position, once it's ironed, it's too hard to remove.
Oh, and I know with the Roxanne that you can actually just pull it up and
wash this out.
And it re-glue it and
the other thing about the Roxanne glue, which I love, because we quilt first, if I use the fusible web under here, this section here gets stiff, but this stays soft.
Oh.
Whereas doing it this way, using the glue, once we get this whole quilt completed and we wash it for the first time, all that glue is going to wash out.
And that other stuff you're talking about.
It doesn't wash out. No, it doesn't wash out.
What's it called? The webbing?
Yes. But it's a personal choice to what you would prefer to use here. So, okay, we're going to put little tiny dots of glue. You don't need a lot. Just close on the edge. That's perfect. You know, a bottle of glue will last you for so long. It's just fabulous stuff. My most favourite thing out there.
That is a good thing.
Okay.
And if any of you dressmakers out there, I glue buttons on
Oh, wow.
with the Roxanne and just let it dry before I sew them because they don't move.
Wow, well,
That's
that is
fabulous.
so good. That's a good tip, Joey.
I thought so.
Okay, so notice that your little extension now is coming into that circle.
So it will be nicely covered.
So just finger press that down. So now let's just do the next one. So this is the process that you will do for all of those 8 petals. But I'm going to suggest to you that we don't glue the circles in place.
Oh, why is that?
Because I've got a little surprise coming for you in another couple of lessons of something else we're going to do to enhance this block.
Joey has to wait and see.
I'm not telling you what it's going to be yet because it's going to be a nice little feature that I think will really suit this design and bring it to life.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's exciting, isn't it? Well done.
Okay.
Well done. So we'll just continue gluing those down and then it gets really exciting
Okay.
because the next lesson we're going to go to the sewing machine.
Oh, I do love going to the sewing machine.
It's a nice place to be.
So we're going to cut there. So here we go. They're all done.
Well done. You've laid out all your petals and you've got them all glued. Now, one more step. The last step that you need to take. Remember, we're not going to put the circles on yet. You're going to just keep those with this. Don't lose them because you're going to need them. Okay.
Later, after the surprise.
After the surprise. So what I want you to do now is use your little mini iron and I want you to press that to set the glue. You can wait for the glue to dry naturally, but it's probably going to take half an hour to 3/4 of an hour. So I find just pressing it with the hot iron, that sets the glue.
It's kind of magic, this glue.
It is.
And of course, we've turned our 3-in-1 board around so that we're on the ironing surface now.
Yeah, and isn't it an easy system?
It's so good.
You know, it's your cutting board, it's your tracing board, it's your ironing board, it's everything. So it really makes it for ease of preparation.
Absolutely, and that's what we're all about today.
It is. So today we've used the 3-in-1 board, we've used the template,
Yes.
we've used the
bow
bowhen
hen.
pencil, we've used the jack scissors, and we've used the mini,
mini
iron
iron.
and the Roxanne glue. Don't forget the glue.
Don't forget the glue.
That's it.
Roxanne glue.
So that's ready now. And our next lesson, we're going to come back and we're going to show you, as I've said before, we're going to show you how to do lovely blanket stitch.
I'm really looking forward to that because I would like to have a practical application for the blanket stitch.
Yeah, and it's like we are going to do it by machine, so we're going to talk about setting up your bobbin and getting your tensions right and getting a nice blanket stitch and making it really a nice feature around the outside edge of these appliques. So well done, Joey.
Thank you.
No gold stars. But I do have a surprise.
Oh, do you?
I do have a surprise. You got a chocolate. You earn a chocolate because I know you love
I
chocolates.
do love chocolates and Snickers. Pretty
So
much
do you
favourite.
think what's best, gold stars or a Snickers?
Well, let's have chocolate.
Well, I hope you all out there earn a chocolate today and you get your preparation work done and hope you're enjoying the lesson. So till we meet again,
Bye from Joey.
and bye from Pauline. See you. Bye.
She's a messy girl.
Oh, I got broad shoulders. See that?
Yeah, you need shoulder pads. Next thing I make for you might have shoulder pads in it so you can have broad shoulders.